guys, I did my lyric analysis on Demi Lovato's Warrior. In this song, she seems to be disclosing to listeners the difficult past experiences she had with abuse. She describes now she has thicker skin, but she states that she still has shame and scars that will never be shown, indicating her traumatizing past. Throughout her song, she directly addresses her abuser, pointing out to them that they would never take the blame, and she now has an armor so they cannot get in. Warrior is like this letter she is sending to her abuser, showing them that the torture they put her through no longer has power over her, as she is now a warrior. She explicitly addresses how she is a survivor of her brokenness and bruises that she now wears as battle wounds. This thread of resilience is seen as she actively addresses her abuser by saying that she is now stronger than she has ever been, which resulted in her triumph. The entirety of the song is filled with the common thread of resilience and the strength that she has now. Lovato employs significant amounts of figurative language that can be analyzed to understand the main message. Her song Warrior, although never formally disclosed, seems to be about sexual abuse, as she opens the song with, "This is a story that I have never told," and expresses that this is something that she has been ashamed and confused about. It hints at sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is something that the victim would likely blame themselves for, feel ashamed about, and may not disclose until years later because of the societal stigma surrounding the topic. In Lovato's first verse of Warrior, she opens the song saying that she wants to take back the light her abuser stole from her, which directs the song to be almost like a letter to her abuser. This light is what this criminal stole from her, causing her to grow up too fast. Lovato addresses her traumatic experiences as something that caused a little girl to grow up too fast. When a child is sexually abused, they lose much of their innocence about the world and begin to exhibit behaviors much too mature for their developmental level. Lovato also states in her lyrics that all it took was once, and she will never be the same. Any type of abuse, specifically sexual, the victim would never be the same. The abuser took the innocence of their child victim. Lovato directly addresses her abuser throughout the message, calling them a criminal for stealing like a pro. Sexual predators or perpetrators tend to be very good at hiding their intentions and appalling actions through the grooming and secrecy that they establish between themselves and the victim, which she alludes to as she states that she will never show these specific scars and bruises. It seems that these scars and bruises may be hidden under her armor made of steel, which she tells her perpetrator they can't get in. When a child is being sexually abused, they may try to layer their clothes or underwear in an attempt to protect themselves from their perpetrator. Because of her current shield, she explicitly tells her abuser, "You can never hurt me again." Lovato describes the pain and truth of what she went through as battle scars. She is showing that what she went through was like a war, when her abuser was the criminal that put her through emotional turmoil. In one line, she says that she is now out of the ashes, I'm burning like a fire. She sets the stage for her redemption from a very dark time to now, where she is taking back her life and is now a warrior. This juxtaposition between verses reveals her outstanding turnaround from being a vulnerable victim to a survivor. This fire is the light she refers to in her opening verse. Now I'll go into the song's impact on the target population. Although not explicitly stated, Lovato's song would empower other victims of any type of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual. She tells the audience of her brokenness, shames, and scars, and her valiant turnaround into a warrior and survivor. She describes the strength that she has built since her abuser as her steel shield in which her abuser can never get in. She also fearlessly addresses her abuser as a criminal who stole her childhood from her. She was a little girl who grew up too fast. Her fearlessness to speak directly to her abuser, letting them know of the pain that they caused her, would be helpful to this population because they would feel the hope in holding their victimizer accountable for what they have done. Lovato boldly concludes that the song by telling her perpetrators that they can never hurt her again. This final line conveys the message that the abuser no longer has power over her, which would be one of the biggest battles victims face. The trauma associated around their experiences is centered around their abuser. By Lovato saying this, she is saying that the horrible trauma she experiences will no longer have a hold on her anymore. As she is taking back her life, she is a voice for the victims to know that they have the strength to not let their trauma to have power over their lives any longer. This is nice.